self-determination.
What up, YouTube? Knowledge and self-determination. Back with you guys with some more April boxing. I'm just trying to cover some of the fights in April. Giving my post-fight thoughts on some of these fights, like the Hatley Charlo fight, and then I'll do next the Berto fight. I did a video earlier with some of the lesser named fighters that fights that took place in April. Excuse me, I can't get to all the fights. All fights aren't televised, and sometimes fights just slip through the cracks. But I'm gonna try to do as many as I can. The Hatley Charlo fight. I know a lot of you guys saw this fight. Now, how do I say this? I saw one of Hatley's previous fights. I can't remember the kid who was fighting, but he got starched in that fight too. I mean, I'm not saying the kid has a weak chin. I'm not gonna say that at all. But he got stretched in that fight. He didn't. I don't even recall if the fight was actually stopped or if he got up and continued. But he got starched in that fight. And I didn't do a pre-fight prediction or anything like that. I didn't talk about the fight previously, simply because I didn't see a need to really. I didn't see Charlo actually losing this fight, but that's beside the point. I probably still should have done a pre-fight video. But anyway, this is a decent fight. Jermell Charlo once again shows that he has power in both hands, that he can stop. He can stop you. He can hurt you. He performed exactly how anybody who has followed Jermell Charlo's career pretty much figured he would do. I mean, he did what we all pretty much assumed he would do. He went in there and stopped Hatley. There's really not a lot for me to add to the situation. I mean, so far as a blow by blow of the fight is concerned, I actually did a round by round commentary on the fight if you check my channel. So I'm not gonna do a blow by blow with this fight. I'm just doing a post fight, sort of a post fight, a thing, breakdown or whatever. I thought it was a decent fight. I want to see Jermell Charlo fight some of the bigger names in 154 though. Some of the bigger names. I mean, his competition isn't bad. He fought John Jackson. That was a good outing. He was getting outboxed in the John Jackson fight. I'm gonna say that. John Jackson was winning that fight up until the stoppage. He got hurt to the eye and turned his back. And Jermell Charlo pounced on him like he should have and got him out of there. John Jackson should have never turned his back. That was a good fight. If it wasn't for that eye, whatever damage happened to his eye, because it was a right hand. It was kind of like the right hand looked like it was kind of chopping downward. Now I'm be honest with you guys. I mean, depending on how you get punched in the eye, those eye shots hurt. I mean, it is a very weird thing with the eye. You get hit in your eye the right way, and I mean, I'm not mad at Jermell Charlo for doing what he did. John Jackson turned his back, and he got starched. That Jermell Charlo did what he was supposed to do. The ref didn't intervene. He did what he's supposed to do. Protect yourself at all times. I'm not mad at Jermell Charlo for that at all. I'm not even mad at John Jackson for what he did. I think he should have been smarter and took a knee and at least gave himself time to at least analyze and gauge the situation, look over to his corner to see what they were instructing him to do, take the stand and 8 count, get back into the fight, and pretty much survive until the end of the round. He has his father, Julius Jackson, in his corner. So the kid he has some knowledge. He's getting schooled by one of the best knockout artists ever in boxing. If you don't know who Julius Jackson is, Julius the Hawk Jackson, go to YouTube and check out Julius the Hawk Jackson. This dude had C4 in his gloves, man. Seriously, he had C4 in his gloves. If he touched you, you were going to sleep. But anyway, he did meet his match though. But in any event, I think the fight was a pretty decent fight with him and Hatley. I know I started talking about the John Jackson fight, but I just wanted to kind of show some contrast. He's getting guys out of there basically. He's persistent. He'll try to switch up his game plan. But John Jackson is just a skilled dude. You know what I'm saying? He's just skilled, and he was doing okay with Charlo's power too. You know, John Jackson isn't finished. In my opinion, he's not finished at all in boxing. That loss to me wasn't bad because of how he got hit. I've got punched in the eye in that similar fashion, and it's a very unique type of pain. It will kind of suck the fight right out of you. I'm gonna be honest with you. It kind of will, just like a well-placed liver or kidney shot can take the fight out of you. It has nothing to do with being weak to the eye or weak to the body. If you get hit with the right punch at the right time, with the right amount of force, you're going to get hurt, especially if you don't see the punch coming. For people who think, oh yeah, anybody can punch this guy in the eye and hurt him. Anybody can punch this kid in the body and drop him. No, you can't. You can't. You can't. People say Amir Khan has a glass chin. Amir Khan's been stopped 3 times in his career. He has a glass jaw. But Amir Khan has taken punches and not been knocked out. It's all about how, who, and when you get hit, for the most part. Amir Khan gets caught, he gets caught punching with you. That's how he gets caught. He gets caught punching with you because people fear Amir Khan's speed more than they do his power. But a really fast shot can drop you. Anyway, I'm digressing. I apologize for that, guys. Charles Hatley and Charlo. I apologize for that. It was a good fight. It was a good outing for Jermell Charlo. He's staying busy. He's staying in shape. You know, until he can get one of those big names. I like to see the Andre fight. Andre and Lara are going back and forth. Kind of sick of the back and forth in boxing, man. You either make the fight or you don't make the fight. Plain and simple. All this back and forth blame game shit. This shit is starting to, it's starting to sound too feminine to me, man. Not that I'm calling Lara or Demetrius and Andre girls or females, because I respect both of these guys. But this back and forth shit, I'm getting tired of it, man. Seriously, like with this Canelo Triple G shit, I don't even care about the fight anymore, man. Make the fight and I'll care. Other than that, all this banter going back and forth, man, you dudes on floor. You're not even building the fight right because we don't even know if you're going to fight. I'm kind of sick of the back and forth, man. I don't do back and forth with anybody. I'm not gonna do back and forth. I got maybe a few good lines with you so far as an argument is concerned, and then I'm gonna completely shut you out because I'm not with all that back and forth. Like, if we not gonna mix it up, what the fuck are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? And as a fighter, if we're not gonna step into the ring and get this paperwork signed so we can make it happen, what are we talking about? What the fuck are you guys talking about? Fight. It's that simple. You both the fighters fight. Anyway, Jermell Charlo is moving up the ranks. He maintains his belt. I'd like to see somebody clear out the division. To be honest with you, I want to see the best fight the best. He's showing that he is a force to be reckoned with in the 154-pound division. I can't wait to see his brother, make his debut fight at 160. Let's see how that happens. Yeah, let's see how that happens. Let's see what happens with that. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the Shawn Porter Andre Berto fight. Man, this is a good fight, man. This was a good fight. I think this fight was one of the best fights of the year so far. It was action packed. It was a stoppage in the 9th round, I believe. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not see Andre Berto getting stopped by Shawn Porter. I just didn't see it. But I also said though that if Shawn Porter is able to break Andre Berto down and with his stamina and his conditioning, it could be a short night. I did say that, I did say that, but I just didn't see it happening. I thought Andre Berto had enough grit and enough toughness in him to actually go the distance and get a decision against Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter's a hungry dude, man, and Shawn Porter's an animal in the ring. I mean, I can't take anything away from the kid, man. I mean, people don't like the way he fights, and it can be a bit displeasuring to the eye to watch him fight sometimes. But you have to understand, Shawn Porter is trying to beat you down with his conditioning. That's what he's doing. He's beating you down with his conditioning. He's trying to get you out of there. And what's the best way to get a dude out of that? Make the fight as ugly and rough as you can, and he does that. His conditioning is what drives him to do that. But Sean Porter can actually box. The kid can actually fight. You saw it in the Keith Thurman fight. Some of those rounds, he actually out-jabbed and out-boxed Keith Thurman, who's known as a boxer-puncher. So the kid can box when he has to. You know what I'm saying? But his conditioning is plan A. When plan A doesn't work like it did with Keith Thurman, he moves on to plan B and try to box and set his punches up and use his jab to work his way in. He was doing a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? The kid has grit. He has a chin. He has a welterweight man-sized chin. I just thought Andre Berto, and I think it was, the 4th or 5th round? Andre Berto actually did exceedingly well. He was boxing. He was using lateral movement. He was boxing off the back foot at points too. He was using lateral movement. That's what he should have done in the fight, but for some reason he wasn't able to keep that up. I think it was fatigue. The headbutts definitely got to him. They definitely got to him. Before the stoppage, there was a headbutt to the side of the head. Sean Porter acknowledged this in the fight. He acknowledged this in the fight. I'm gonna say this though about Sean Porter. I mean, I believe him when he says that his intention is not. And then maybe I say believe. I should say that very loosely. I'll say this. I think going into a fight, he isn't planning on using his head. However, these guys have been in the fight game long enough, meaning him and his dad, to know that if you go in head first, you're probably going to land your head on somebody's jaw before your fist. They know this. They are aware of this. You know, they have too much fight knowledge and experience not to be aware that his style causes those kinds of creates that kind of an atmosphere. They've been around the game too long to not know that coming in head first is going to cause head collisions. So I don't believe that they are unaware of what's going on. And Sean Porter acknowledged it. You know, he said, you know, the headbutt, that's something that, you know, that I got to work on more. You know, I know, you know, that I come in with my head sometimes and it's not my intention to do that. You know, and I get it. He gets overzealous. He gets overexcited, you know. Instead of coming in with his gloves in front of his face, he comes in with his gloves kind of splayed out because of the way he's moving to get in. You know, he's presenting his head to you, and he comes in with his head first. He's not coming in, you know, with his gloves in front of his face. That way, if there is some contact, his gloves are kind of buffering, serving as a buffer between his skull and your head or whatever. You know, he doesn't come in that way with his gloves in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's looking to punch. So when he comes in, you know, the way he's stepping in, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to get leverage on those punches. So whatever side that he's shifting to, that's where he's going to put the leverage down and wind up that punch and try to dig it into your body. You know, again, that's what I see. I could be wrong about that, but this was a good fight, man. I think this fight was really good. I think that a fight like this helps shapes up the division. He's now the mandatory for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, I wouldn't say Keith Thurman is scared. But I don't know, Keith Thurman, the way he talks, the way he dances around answering questions about fights sometimes may give the appearance that Keith Thurman is afraid of these guys, but I don't think he is. I think Keith Thurman just doesn't like to speak on anything that hasn't come to fruition. I could be giving him too much of a benefit of the doubt, but he's always been like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, well, I can't even say that because he's blatantly called out Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. He starts off in the interview with him, Spence, and Davis getting interviewed by the Showtime reporter. He pretty much said it. You know, I'm looking for legends first, you know, and then looking at champions to see if we can solidify some of these. You know, I mean, basically, unify some more of these belts or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he's looking for legends and this, that, and the third. Floyd isn't interested in fighting anybody but Conor McGregor, so he says. And Manny Pacquiao is interested in fighting anybody who could possibly upset him and take his belt from him. So, I don't even know why the fuck he's even thinking about Manny Pacquiao. I mean, seriously, I wish Manny Pacquiao just fucking retired, man. Because you can't say that I have nothing to prove and then go and take Jesse Vargas' belt. You don't have anything to prove, then why the fuck are you fighting for belts? Why was it necessary to fight Jesse Vargas? Why were you Jesse Vargas' first title defense? Why were you his first opponent after he got his title? But I mean, seriously, like, you say Pacquiao's a legend, he can fight anybody he wants, and that's fine. He can fight a bum ass Jeff Horn, and that's okay. Somebody that literally nobody has ever heard of Jeff Horn. Nobody in the boxing world has ever heard of this dude. He's never fought anybody outside of his particular circle, right? But Floyd can't fight Berto for his last fight. A dude who is a champion, who was a champion. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who has a pretty decent resume. Berto has a good resume, man. He has a pretty good resume. I mean, he's fought some dudes, man. He's been in the ring with some dudes, man. Seriously. How the hell is Berto Mayweather a worse fight than Manny Pacquiao, Jeff Horn? Manny Pacquiao gets a pass, but I'm not even going to rehash that whole conversation because everybody knows how fucking idiotic that is. And if you don't realize how stupid and hypocritical that argument is, then shoot yourself in the face because you don't know shit about boxing, and just don't leave a comment in my comment section. I wish Pacquiao would retire and relinquish that belt. Retire and relinquish the belt. Because we know you're not going to fight fucking Kell Brook. We know you're not going to fight Errol Spence. You're not going to fight Keith Thurman. You're not going to fight Sean Porter. You're not going to fight Danny Garcia. You're not going to fight Adrian Broner. You're not going to fight anybody who may pose a significant threat to you. You're a legend, but you want to beat up on tomato cans. Anyway, man, whatever. Anyway, this was a good fight. We don't know what Keith Thurman's going to do. We don't know if the Thurman Porter 2 fight is coming before the end of the year. We don't know how that's going to happen. Maybe everybody's waiting to see what happens with Kell Brook and Errol Spence before they pretty much make up their minds on what's going to happen going forward in the welterweight division. I don't know. I know everybody is waiting to see what happens in May. Was it May 22nd, May 27th? I can't remember the exact date, but I'm going to be watching that fight, though. Everybody is in anticipation for this fight. Everybody wants to see what's going to happen. Everybody wants to see if Errol Spence is going to prove his muscle against the biggest step up to date, or if Kell Brook is going to, pull out his championship grit, and win on decision, or possibly even a KO or a TKO. He's not knocking Errol Spence out, though. But we'll see what happens, man. I don't think Andre Berto's done. He's not beating anybody in the upper echelon of the welterweight division, though. I think the Sean Porter fight proved that. Sean Porter isn't going to beat anybody elite. He's not going to beat a top elite fighter. He is an upper echelon fighter, but I would say the top 5 guys, Sean Porter probably isn't going to beat them. Maybe 1 out of 4 of them. Maybe. So far as title holders are concerned, I think Sean Porter can beat Manny Pacquiao. I don't think he's going to beat Keith Thurman again. Although it's a possibility, I think it's slim because of what Keith Thurman brings into the ring. I don't think Sean Porter is going to beat Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a lot. He hasn't had a chance to show it yet because he's completely outclassed the competition. But Errol Spence is a lot more rugged of a fighter than people think. And I actually think a fight like that with Sean Porter would play too much into Errol Spence's into his hands, because Errol Spence has an excellent. He can work on the inside. He has good inside work. Sean Porter has too many lapses in his defense to be able to stand up. If Sean Porter fights Errol Spence the way he fought Andre Berto, he gets stopped in like the 7th or 8th round. He gets stopped because the body work is gonna decimate him, man. And he leaves himself way too open to uppercuts, hooks, and body shots. He leaves himself way too open, man. Some good. But we'll see, though. We'll see. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the welterweight division. I want to see what the fights are going to be going into the later part of the year. Not that I'm interested in for the year to fly by that quickly, but I want to see what's going to happen so far as these fights are concerned. Nobody's calling out Errol Spence. No one is calling out Errol Spence. No one is calling out Errol Spence. When he gets that belt from Kell Brook, people are going to have to fight him, and then we'll see. Then we'll see who the real men are in the welterweight division. Are these dudes gonna jump ship? You know what I'm saying? Like dudes have done Rigondeaux, like dudes have done against Andre Ward, like dudes have done against Triple G, literally leaving the division to avoid having to fight them. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I don't think anybody in the welterweight division is gonna do that, but let's see how many people avoid them. You know, Danny Garcia isn't going to be able to say, well, he hasn't fought anybody. You're not going to be able to use that excuse going forward. Keith Thurman, you're not going to be able to use that excuse going forward. Keith Thurman predicted it 2 years ago. Maybe in 2 years, you know, we can make the Errol Spence fight. It's 2 years later. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, he's not necessarily shying away from the fight, but he's not really giving you any concrete, definite answers on who he wants to fight. He called out the dudes that he wants to fight, but he hasn't called out anybody else but Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I'm not trying to say the man is scared, but I mean, come on, dog. Like, I mean, seriously. But anyway, I'm excited about the welterweight division in boxing for 2017. Showtime is killing. PBC is killing it. They're killing it. And to piggyback off the video that I did yesterday, HBO is ruining the pay-per-view model. And I'm going to just end it on that. HBO is ruining the pay-per-view model in conjunction with Golden Girl, you know, Pink Panty Productions. But that's all for this video right now. Andre Berto, Sean Porter, good fight. I didn't see Sean Porter stopping Andre Berto. I was wrong with that. I had it a 50-50 fight, but going into the fight, it was more, I mean, the way the fight actually, hindsight being 2020, this was a 70-30 fight, man. 70-30, maybe even 80-20, 75-25. I'll say that, 75-25. Andre Berto had a 25% chance of beating Sean Porter based on what the fight looked like, hindsight being 2020. Big ups to Sean Porter, man. Props to this dude. I like Sean Porter. I like him as a person. He's a good dude, man. Humble, you know what I'm saying? Respectful, you know, personable. I like the dude, you know what I'm saying? I just think that he should bring out his full arsenal in fights more often. That's all I would say. Show more of what you can do, man. You can box. Show that, man. Real talk, like show it. I think he will get a lot more victories easier if he works behind his boxing ability and then jump on you and get you the fuck out of there. Break him down first. You know what I'm saying? Your conditioning, we already know that's going to carry you through in your fights. We already know that. You have a chin. We already know that. But box him. Make it look good while you're doing it. I personally, I think if he showed that new Rickle, Sean Porter, I think his fan base would skyrocket. I think people would be more inclined to see him fight if they saw his whole skill set. You know what I'm saying? If he put it on blast, so to speak, because I see it, and real boxing fans see it. But if he put it more on blast, you know, if he started out the first 3 or 4 rounds boxing you and basically embarrassing the shit out of you, and then turning it up in the second half of the fight. But that's just my opinion. He got a game plan going in. It works, but it doesn't work with everybody. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they should think about switching that up. You know, adding a new wrinkle in the ring, so to speak. Because it's not a new wrinkle so far as the skill set is concerned. It's a new wrinkle so far as what he does when he's actually in the ring. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Let's see what happens. Props to Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying, for the victory over Andre Berto. I don't think Andre Berto's done, but he may want to look at kind of winding his career down at this point, though. But that's all I got for now. Peace.